Restoring Men and History. And here's a concerning stat. I came across this a while back and we meant to get back to it. And here we are. 45% of women are expected to be single and childless by 2030 per recent projection. I was sending this around a year ago. Recent data predicts that 45% of women between ages 25 and 44 will be single and childless by the time 2030 rolls around. The number of single women in the United States is expected to rise 1.2% every year. This stat came from Gina Floria. That's from Evie, January 4th, 2023. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is sad. And we focus on men having strong male friendships and getting in a men's group and restoring men. But this is important for you ladies and women because this shows me, this kind of percentage shows me, and we know, and we've seen it, that too many women have sadly bought into feminism, corporate America, and in the indoctrination of the colleges, the Marxist indoctrination. Now listen, let me first say this, the wage gap, the competition, what do the Marxists want to do, ladies? What do they want to do? They want to drive you apart from men. Why? So that you don't have children, so you don't have families, so the Marxists don't have families to contend with, and they gain power. It's as simple as that. They use feminism to tell you you'll be as fulfilled in a cubicle as you will holding a baby at home. Untrue for most of them. If you like our mission, please like, comment, hit the notification button, and subscribe. And there will be outliers, I understand, that just want 100 hours a week work and don't want to get married and don't want to have children. I get that. However, for society to go on, many of you must choose, and you will get your largest fulfillment from having babies. Now we can go into the psychology. I don't think we're going to, with so many different pieces we could go into that I've read and come across. Women are more lonely today, certain surveys say. More depressed. Why? Where do you get your fulfillment from? What do most people want in this world? They want to love and be loved, right? But the Marxist corporate American, as everybody tell you, you want to buy and buy more. That you can be materialist and fulfilled, that you can win awards and be fulfilled as women. That instead of a man holding you in the morning, you can report to a boss with a coffee cup and into a cubicle and be as fulfilled as holding a man in the morning, or a man holding you in the morning, or holding a baby. Being loved. On Maslow's hierarchy, that's number 3, right? What's the first one? Physiological, physical. You get that from a man. You get that from holding a baby. What's number 2? Security, right? What can make you feel safer at night? A man in the house, right? Marriage. In many ways. Because if you ever were to lose that job and you had a man who was working, that's more safe, right? You have someone to fall back on. You have someone that you can talk to, that can encourage you, that can build you up, that can edify you. Now, they want to drive us apart, but men and women can make each other better. We can enrich each other. We are not at war. Who's at war? The tyrants, the totalitarians are at war with you, then trying to drive you against men, creating that wage gap nonsense because it's by choices, telling you you don't need a baby. Why? Who wins if you don't have babies? You get to be a wage slave and trade being a wage slave for a husband, they say. Excuse me. What is the talk in this article? I remember the piece. They call them, they say they're a slave in the piece. Don't be a slave at home. Well, you can be a wage slave in corporate America for a boss. Or you can be loved and give love at home to a husband and to children. And we need it. Who's going to create the values of America and the virtues? Now listen, you have to find someone that you love, that you have same values and virtues with as women. And the men have to do that. And I understand the fears of the men, but we're talking mainly about the women today because of the lawsuits and the courts. But we are not at war with women. MGTOW going their own way. We cannot go our own way. Totally, for everyone. A few men can choose that. And let me tell you, women will bring something. You need male strong friends. We're not going to back, that is a given. First, you have male strong friends. You then add a woman to your life, and she will bring a femininity that is beautiful and wonderful. We different sitting with her at a cigar bar than a man. She will bring something different to you. So men and women are not at war. We complement each other and we make society better. We can enrich each other. We have roles. We are different for sure. That's the beauty of it. That's the attraction. That's why Hollywood and the corporate America tries to push you women into being men and acting like men, because we won't want you then. We don't want to be with a man to date romantically. We have male friends. We push that. Have strong male friends. We will hang out with male friends. If you're simply just another male friend, we'll just hang out with male friends. We don't need that. So don't buy this nonsense. You do not need to be manly. You do not need to be masculine. That will not help you get a fantastic masculine man. Also, this buying on the waiting thing, you can wait. Oh, you can wait. I see these different pieces and articles flashing across. You can wait till your 40s. You can wait till your 50s to have children. Optimum time for women is in your 20s to 35, okay? So 20s to 35, optimum time. If you don't want any problems and issues. At 35, you start getting into some problems, according to some things I've read. Corporate America says you can wait. Why? Great deal for them. You get to buy more, stay in the workforce, be a wage slave, and work for them. And buy them. Then with your wages, you can buy their products. It's like a cycle, right? You work and you buy their products. Now, there's nothing wrong with all of corporate America, but it's become rather woke lately and for a long time here. So there are problems in corporate America for sure. But the Marxists, the feminists, the globalists all combine what? Globalists want to depopulate. There's a faction of globalists that just want you not to have children at all. They talk about it all the time, right? You've seen the clips, right? We're not going to take the time to put the clips in, I don't think. And yet at the same time, the globalists, you will be happy and own nothing. They don't want you to own anything. So you got corporate America that wants you to buy all their stuff, and the globalists that want you to own nothing. I guess they'll combine and want you to rent it, and they'll make constant money off of it. But I want to stress this. We are not at war with women. You are not at war with men. That's what the globalists and the Marxists want. Marxists like to divide, right? Class, men and women, black and white, race. Who does that help? Who does that give more power to when we don't like each other? Look, relationships can be very fulfilling. Corporate America is not going to be there when you have a problem. They don't care. They do not love you. If you want love and you want to be loved, that's going to come from a romantic relationship with a man. And remember this, they're telling you have all this time, you have all this time. Well, look, if your optimum time's up to 35 to have children, and the average man likes to date a woman 2 to 2.5 years, that's the average stat. So if you're 29 today, that makes you 31 to 31 and a half before you get married, if the relationship goes well, and the first guy you meet is the one, right? In other words, today, tomorrow, you met the right guy. He was perfect. He's probably going to date you 2 years before he marries you. Then you might have an engagement period. Where does that put you? So if you're 29 today, that puts you, you meet the first guy you meet on the street tomorrow who's perfect and you have the similar values and virtues, you might get engaged at 31. Now, then you've got to be married a year before you have children, according to the articles, to make it work, because you need to establish relationships with the two of you. All right? So you can see that you don't have as much time as you think. That's another trick that the leftists and the Marxists and the progressives push on you. You have all the time in the world. You don't. And besides, why would you not want to start building memories? I just had a couple of good friends. They've done 17 years together. Hats off to you, too. By the way, that's an achievement and accomplishment, staying together 17 years. Maslow's hierarchy, we're not using any of this. I'm just talking. Maslow's hierarchy is what? When you get up there, it's esteem is the next level, and then self-actualization. Think if you built a good marriage for 17 years, what you would have accomplished. And that is a great accomplishment that these two did, and I'm proud of them. I mean, they're really in love. They have that romantic kind of love, right? We won't say their names. But you do want that, I think you want, at least you want that romantic love, not just a friendship love. So think of all the memories they have now together. Now watch this. They're telling you you don't need a man. You don't need the burdens of a family. Burdens of a family? How about we trade that to fulfillment of a family? And I think they talked about that in this EV magazine article by this girl that I read at the beginning. So she talked about they're selling you this stuff, right? And what are they selling you? They're selling you feminism, that you can be alone, that you don't need anybody. Who does that help? That helps corporate America, because you can sit there online and buy a bunch of stuff after you've worked from them. That works for the powers that be, because what do you have with a family? You have loyalty to a family. The man wants to protect it, guide it. So you have protection. And what's it like to be alone at night? There's more loneliness than ever in America on both sides. We are not at war. We can enrich each other. We can make each other better. A man can bring something to a woman can bring something to a woman. And that is how you can be self-actualized, because a woman can guide you in different ways if she has the same values and virtues and is sharp. And a man can guide her in a different way. And together, you become better. Okay? So they're selling this stuff. I don't like it. We are not at war with women. Women are not at war with men. We're not going to buy into it. Stop believing this nonsense. This feminism is off. This globalism, this Marxism that's pushing people into hatred and pushing people against each other does what? Gives them more power. And guess what? Makes you more lonely and less fulfilled. Imagine waking up to a man that loves you and him holding you. Imagine waking up to a baby and watching it as it discovers a Christmas tree for the first time and sees it, and the wonders of a child, as you said, as a woman at home, and gets to see your child experience all these wondrous things. And they're telling you don't need that. It's a burden. That's a burden to watch a child experience a wonder. Have you seen a dog? Just watching a dog? Or the love of your husband. He comes home and gives you a big hug. Takes you. Makes you feel like a woman in a different way romantically, right? He takes you. So don't buy into this feminist nonsense. Now, the leftist progressive Marxists tell women, corporate America, you don't need a man. You don't need a child. You don't need love. You just need a job, an award, a career, ephemeral things that will fade away. But we need in this republic men and women having strong relationships, making each other better in romantic ways. Those kind of relationships. It's different than going out with a man, right? It's different. Sitting at a cigar bar with a man and sitting at a cigar with a romantic interest is different. The woman will bring something different, enchanting, wonderful. That's femininity. There's a beauty to it that we like. And one of the most effective blocks against tyrants, totalitarians, oligarchies is what? The family, the smallest political institution, because then you have something to protect, to fight for, to have loyalty to each other. And by the way, your corporate America job is not going to love you. It's never going to be there for you. Ladies. It's never going to be there for you. Your cubicle is not going to love you back. Your cubicle is not going to visit you when you're having a problem. Your cubicle is not going to sit there 3 hours and listen to you. It's not going to hold you in the morning when you want to be held. It's not going to warm you up in the morning. Your boss is not going to, well, we hope not. Your boss is not going to do that. Your manager's not going to do that. A family also gives you support. A husband gives you support. It can give you encouragement. In fact, you can encourage each other. Again, you can make each other better. Forget the nonsense of the socialist, Marxist, feminist attack. Men and women can make each other better. I want you to leave with that today. If you leave with nothing else, we can enrich each other. We can make each other better. And we can make a stronger, better republic together than divided. What does this side do always? The Marxists and communists and socialists want to divide you, make men and women hate each other, make men and women not get along well, say you can do it alone, say you don't need children, you don't need a man, you don't need family. That is simply not going to be fulfilling for most of you. And it's simply wrong. Corporations will not be there to hold your hand in the morning. They will not be there to hold your head in the morning. They will not be there for a shoulder to cry on. And they do not love you. They do not care about you. You cannot get warm with them in the morning. They will not be there when you have emotional problems or financial problems. Romantic love from a man, a different kind of love from children. Someone you can take care of, whether it's your husband or your children or both. Giving to someone else. Having a larger purpose than just yourself You get to give to others and make them better. You get to help others get their dreams. You are listened to by someone who knows you well and understood. You have an intimate relationship with your boyfriend, husband, and he knows you. You have a larger purpose than yourself, ladies, and are responsible for others. You have support from others. And when the world's gone crazy, you have that castle to retreat to and your man's arms, and you can come into him and he's going to put your arms around you and make you feel safe and secure and loved. And most people want to be loved. Thank you, and have a magnificent day. If you like this video, please hit the like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Thank you.